Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part two of our Navigating with Success Masterclass series. In our first session, we explored the fundamentals of setting up a strong foundation in TalentLMS when you grow. And today, we're taking things a step further and diving into how to optimize your platform and reshape with less when needs change. But before we get into more details on that, let's do the proper introductions. My name is Irini, and I'm a senior customer onboarding consultant here in TalentLMS, and I will be hosting this session live alongside with my good colleague Anastasia.
Hello, everybody. I'm Anastasia. I'm a TalentLMS onboarding specialist, and I'm very excited about today's session. We've got great things to share with you, so stay tuned.
And with that said, before we move on further, just a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and it will be sent to you all by email once it's over. So feel free to share it with anyone who is interested in changing their plans and their subscription in Talent LMS. And a live Q&A will be taking place during this session. So this webinar is your chance to ask any question about Talent LMS. We have Ioannis and Ben in the background answering all your questions during this webinar. And of course, some of them will be tackled by us live. So in order to pose your questions, just use the Q&A button on your meeting control panel on your screen. Now, I want to shine a spotlight on something truly special, the Talent LMS Training Excellence Awards. These awards celebrate the amazing ways our customers use Talent LMS to upskill teams, solve real business challenges, and create impactful learning experiences. From onboarding to compliance, from sales training to DEI, our users are doing outstanding work, and we want the world to know about it. So, whether you're training a team of 1 or 100, if you're doing something you're proud of, submit your story. You'll get the chance to be recognized by a global audience, showcase your team's achievements, and all winners will win a digital badge and trophy and an exciting prize of 5 consulting sessions with L&D expert Stella Lee, tailored to help them drive even greater training success. Submissions are open until August 19, so hurry up. Just head to talentlms.com/training excellence awards. It's quick and easy to enter. And for your convenience, Ioannis will be posting the link in the chat as we speak. And if you're not sure if your program is award worthy, trust me, it is. Every learning story matters. Now, back to our webinar. This webinar is part two of our series Navigating Change in Talent LMS, as we said at the beginning. Part one has been posted on our webinars page. The link is added in the chat as well as we speak. So take your chance to click it so you will explore that afterwards. Now, your needs may change, but your impact doesn't have to. So in this webinar, we'll show you how doing more with less can actually lead to smarter, leaner, and more effective training. Through 3 real-world use cases, you'll discover how teams successfully adapted to lower Talent LMS plans while still delivering results, and why limitations can sometimes be the push you need to level up your setup. Now, this will be our agenda for today. So the first topic of discussion would be revamping your course structure. We will explore together how to optimize your course hierarchy with simple practices and features that exist for all subscriptions. Then we will move on refining your user management. We will explore smarter ways to manage users and ensure the right learners always see the right content without creating extra admin work. And of course, future-proofing your setup. We will discover how to build a setup that grows with our organization. And of course, the live Q&A that will take place at the end. So let's dive in right away, starting with our use case number 1. You see on the recipient, Danny Morris. Dan is not here to host this session, so I will be acting as the customer success manager in this case. But he shared with us the 3 real use cases with us. So we thank Danny for this. So this is a use case where we have a small cybersecurity training company. They offer a structured learning path of 16 courses covering different topics like phishing awareness, secure coding. And they have decided to move to the Grow plan. Right now, after they moved, all the courses are visible to all learners at once, and they're concerned that this is a bit much of, might be overwhelming for their users, especially those who do not come from a technical background. And since they recently changed into the lower plan, they no longer benefit from the automation. So they wanted to find a workaround or some suggestions from our end about drip feeding these courses or make them available in phases or based on progress or completion. So they're looking for something manageable, simple, without upgrading plans again. So this customer is obviously seeking a simple and manageable solution to control the visibility of their courses. They want to ensure that courses are presented in phases, especially for those that have nothing to do with the technical backgrounds without relying on automations or upgrading into a higher plan. So what we suggested for this customer is to take advantage of two features, the categories and the prerequisites. Now, the categories, it's the type of feature that allows you to better organize how your courses are displayed to your users. Therefore, your training can appear more structured to your learners and help them feel less overwhelmed. So what we suggested for this customer is to organize the topics of the training they provide and create categories based on those main topics. And of course, take advantage of creating subcategories. So they could create, let's say, the different phases with the courses that structure those different phases within the subcategories. So this way, the suggested path will be visible to learners. And of course, it will be easier for them to pick up the courses on their own in case they want to self-develop themselves without feeling lost in a large list of courses. And of course, the prerequisites is a feature that helps us define the order by which our learners complete their courses. They create a sequence between those courses, and they help us ensure that learners are following the intended learning path without skipping any essential content. So combining these two features, the result is that our customer can still roll out their courses in a structured, tailored way that guides learners through their learning path and presents it clearly with the categories and a simple dashboard. And with that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pass the mic to Anastasia, who will demonstrate how to build the categories and the prerequisites in our system. Anastasia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Irene. Let me share my screen 1 second, and there we go. So as you can see, I'm logged in as an admin. This is the main role I'll be using throughout our session today. And let's now dive in directly into how we can create categories in TalentLMS, which you will find under Account and Settings. And here you see the dedicated button. You can very easily create a category just by clicking on this button here. And what I'm going to create first for our customers' use case is the main category for the cybersecurity training. I will just save. And now in order to create the different phases Irene mentioned, I'm going to create the subcategories. So to create a subcategory, same, we click on the Add Category button, and we just enter the name of the subcategory. But we also need to select a parent category. So the one we have previously created, the cybersecurity training, will be our parent category in order to create a tree, let's say, that is going to appear in course catalog. I have also created already the phase 2 and intermediate training for this customer. So what I'm going to do is just select the main category here. And for phase 3, also do the same. And now we have our categories created. And these categories will only appear in our course catalog if they have courses assigned to them. To do that, we need to go to the courses list here. And in order to add a course in a category, we can simply select the course we want to add. And from the mass actions that is going to appear, we're going to select the option to add category and find the, so this is going to be part of phase one. So this is how our subcategories are going to appear. So phase one foundations. And if you see a little bit more closely, I have already added some courses in phase two and phase three. Now, there is another way to add a course into a category. So let me just edit this one. And from the course options here, from the info tab, you will find the category section here. So similar to what we did before, just select the category you want to add the course from the drop-down list. All right, so we are already in where we need to be, because now we are going to set up the prerequisite courses to guide our learners on the right path. So from the courses options, we just need to move to the limits tab. And this is where we will find the prerequisite sections and where we will be able to add the prerequisite course, which will be the course our learners will need to complete first, to then have the permissions to complete the keeping your data safe course, which we are editing right now. So just type the course from phase one foundations, as you can see here, and click save. As soon as you do that, you will see that a lock is going to appear. So users will not, the learners will not have access in our keeping your data safe course unless they have completed this course prerequisite. And now that we have set up everything, I would like to show you how everything will look from the learner's perspective. And this is where I also have a quick tip for you. So if I change to my learner's role, this is what the learners will see as soon as they log into your TalentLMS platform. And what they see here in their dashboard is some widgets with a recent course activity and overview, some events happening today, and a progress chart. However, as we said in this customer's use case, we want learners to feel as less overwhelmed as possible. So that's why we would maybe like to have a simpler dashboard for our learners. And of course, we have the solution for you. So let me just change to the administrator role. And from account and settings and the users button here, scroll a little bit down to find the user defaults. And this is where you can enable the simple learners dashboard. If I click save and now change to my learners, to my learner role once again. Now, what the users, what the learners are going to see as soon as they log in is directly the courses that you have assigned to them. So they will jump into the training as soon as they enter the course. So here they can also enable the category view, and the courses will appear a little bit more organized. And you can see that I can start from this course, but if I wanted to start from the second one, you will see that there is a path, so a prerequisite course that I need to complete. These are not the prerequisite courses we have created before. There's some different that I have assigned to my learner. So what the learners can do is just click to the prerequisite course. They will be redirected to the course they need to complete first in order to access the second course in line. And let me jump back from the course catalog here. The learners will be able to see the categories that you have created, and here we will also be able to see the cybersecurity training we have just created and the different subcategories, as you can see. So these courses are going to be sorted by name, and the system will sort them alphabetically. But here's the second tip for today. Traditionally, this is what the courses are sorted, but if you want a different type of sorting, you can add a course code. This is the course code that you can see in the courses that appear here. And the course code allows you to enable different sorting and not the alphabetical order. So how you can add it in the courses, let me go one step back from the admin role and click on the course list. Once again, I will edit the course, and from the course options, the info tab, this is where you will find the course code section. As you can see, you can create a code by combining letters and numbers of your preference. And like this, you add a unique identifier to your course, and the system will prioritize the course code over the alphabetical order of the name of the course. So this is all I had to share from my end about this customer use case. So Irene, back to you for the second customer use case.
Thank you, Anastasia. So let me just share my screen. I hope you do see my screen. So we're now in use case number 2. This is a customer that needs to reduce the number of branches from 7 down to 3. So they're planning to change into the grow plan. But before they do so, they want to make a preparation and a restructure. At the moment, they have been using the branches to organize their regional teams, but they're planning to do that by state. They operate in 3 different states. They also give us an example in this case. And they're also thinking to utilize the groups so they could separate the different teams within the regions. They provide on-site equipment maintenance and compliance inspections. So their goal is to maintain the structure while staying within the plan limits, because at the moment it's not an option for them to upgrade. And they would also like to inform the existing users about these new chains, and also find a way to delete users so they could fit their new plan limits. It sounds like this customer needs to do a really heavy reshape, let's say, of the original brand structure. Now, a quick note regarding the deletion of users to fit into the new plan. We strongly suggest against the deletion of users, because once users are deleted permanently, their progress and data will be lost forever. What you can do as an alternative that will be demonstrated by Anastasia later on is to deactivate your users. Because also with the deactivation, you keep open slots for new user accounts, and you also get to keep all the data and the history, especially if you want to pull out reports based on deactivated users as well. Now, at this point, I would like to highlight that we could definitely combine groups and branches together. In this template, you will see really quick the differences between branches and groups. Branches is a separate training e-learning environment. It's ideal for different customers, different partners, large divisions. You can assign a unique course catalog and assign unique courses to your audiences. And of course, it may have a different branding customization, different rules, and different admins per branch. The groups, on the other hand, is a feature that organizes users and courses within the same training environment. In terms of customization, it shares the same look and feels as the main portal, and it's ideal for internal teams, departments, and of course, you can bulk assign courses to similar users. The benefits of combining both is that you enhance targeting and control, and it's easier for reporting and course assignment, and of course, you also achieve a scalable structure for growing teams. So what we suggested for this customer in order to do this reshape quick and efficiently is 2 different methods. The first method is to take advantage of the import functionality, which is available in all plans. The import functionality is designed to simplify large-scale data handling, allowing you to quickly onboard users. With the import functionality, you can quickly add or update users, you can create branches, you can create groups, and all that with the upload of an Excel or a CSV file. You can also use it for seamless migration or duplication of content between portals, and you can definitely have control over your user database status. So that was the first method. And the second option, since the customer is planning to change into the Grow plan, we also suggested to take advantage of the custom reports, which are available on Grow plans and higher. The custom reports, it's the type of report that you create in the system. So apart from the ready-made, the built-in Talent LMS reports, you can create your own reports based on your own rules. You can track exactly what matters to your organization. You can gain targeted insights aligned to your learning goals. Of course, scheduling is also available, and you can also control user statuses by using the mass actions and also allocate users in branches and groups. And with that said, back to Anastasia, so she can demonstrate how this customer can use the import and the custom reports functionality for this purpose.
Thank you, Rini. Once I share my screen, okay, here. And without any further ado, let me show you how you can use the import feature in TalentLMS. You will find it under Account and Settings, the last option in the drop-down list. So once you click here, you can download the sample Excel file to perform your import. So it will look like this. And as you can see here at the bottom, you have different tabs that guide you through the different actions that you can take with the import. So you can see that you can create users and courses and branches. So this is what our customer is going to use for their use case. This is how they can create the new branches just by typing the name of the branch and the description. Same for the groups. But of course, the settings of the groups need to be configured manually. And next, what they will need to use is the users, adding users to groups and the users to branches to move the existing users to the new branches they have created. Of course, they will need first to perform an import and create the branches, and then perform another import with moving the existing users to the new branches. Here, you will see also that in the sample Excel file, you have the guidelines on what data you need to type here. So it would be the username, the username of the user and the name of the branch. And since Excel files are very sensitive, just also be very sensitive about the data that you put here. Now here I have another tip for you. Of course, you can manually type everything, all the information that needs to be imported into the system. But of course, you can also use the export button that you will find here and export this file, which is a similar Excel file as the import with the different tabs that you can see here, but this time you get the data already created into the system, already registered into the system, and you can very easily, from the users branches tab, you can just copy and paste the usernames of your users into your import file, and therefore save some time and move the users with the import. Or, of course, we can use the alternative option that Irini gave us, the custom reports. To access the custom reports, if you are, of course, in a Grow Plan and Higher, you will find them under Reports, and this is where you need to go. As soon as you enter, you can see the list of all the custom reports available, and you can add your report by clicking here. I have already, to save us some time, I have already created the custom report that this customer needs to use. So the name is Users to Branches, and I will click edit just to show you the rules I have used. The type of the report where we are going to use here is specific users, because we need the list of the users that belong to specific brands. And here you add your rules. So the rule I have used is belong to brands, and this is the name of the existing brands. So here at the output, then we need just the information of the users, so you can decide what different data you would like the report to show you. These are the different columns that will appear, and if we run the report, we will get the list of all the users that belong to the vendor supplier brands. And now to move the users into the new brands, the California brands of our user, you can use the Mass Actions button. And here you have the option to add to the new brands. Of course, you once again need to already have created the brands. And same, if you have already created the groups, you have the option to add these users into the new groups too. Now, quick tip for the users that, like our customer, are thinking to reshaping the structure of their portal and move to a lower plan to simplify things, and because this is what would serve their company goals at this point. As a best practice, be sure to move your users either with a custom report or the import before you change your plan. And now, last but not least, let's see how we can massively deactivate the users. Once again, with the custom reports, you have the option to deactivate the users from here. Another option would be to go to the users list, select the users that you would like to deactivate, and from the mass actions, deactivate them. And of course, with our import, back to the import file, from the users tab at the beginning, we can simply deactivate the users just by using these columns. So the login and the active column. This is all we need. Here we are going to fill in the username, and here just type no. And when you import this file, your users will be deactivated immediately. We have used the import a lot today, and we have a very useful and detailed article regarding this feature, which will now be shared with you in our chat. And Irini, back to you, because we have one more thing to share with our viewers today about this customer use case, right?
Definitely. So if you think that I missed it, you're wrong. I leave it in purpose as a different point to discuss. So this is our use case, and what our customer needs is to inform the existing users about this reshaping. So what could we do? As you already know, in TalentLMS, we have the notifications. The notifications are the automated messages that TalentLMS sends based on user activity or system events. They're managed from the main portal. You can send notifications to all users, regardless of their brands. And you can definitely create brand-specific notifications for new users and existing user database. And the same applies for group-specific notifications as well. Now, since this is an existing user database, the traditional notification that is being set up by default every time you start a Talent LMS portal is the on user create, which basically goes through when the administrators create the user database, sharing the information, the portal URL, the credentials, and any additional information that the admins decide to add on that template. Now, in this case, this notification will not go through because the event is not triggered. It's an existing user database. So regardless this branch reshaping, this notification will not be affected at all. What can we do? We have two different events on the notifications. So you will need to build those notifications from scratch. And I'm talking about the on branch assignment or the on group assignment, depending on what type of information you want to notify your learners of. So if you're looking to notify the existing user database about the new entry point, because branches are independent training environments, they have their own URL. So by the time you're adding a user in a branch, you want this information to go through, you can create the notification under the event on branch assignment. And you can do the same for groups as well if you want them to be notified that they will be members of a group and probably will be assigned a certain list of courses. And Anastasia, can you please show us how an admin basically can build this notification in the system?
Yes, of course, Irini. That's why I'm here. So let me share my screen once more. And the administrators will find the dedicated button about the notifications here. And of course, here we have all the notifications created. I have already created the notification of notifying existing users when they are added to a new brand. So let me just edit it to show you the event. The event, as you mentioned, Irini, is on brands assignment. And here in the recipient, we have added the related users so that every existing user that is going to be assigned to a new branch is going to receive this message. So in our message, the first line is always the subject of the email that the users are going to receive, and we're welcoming them back to their training portal. And we have used here the smart tags to personalize a little bit this message. So that you can choose the smart tags from here, and they will be populated with the relevant information. So we're letting them know that we have made a few updates, and from here we also share the new brand's URL that they need to log in, and of course we're wishing them happy learning. Now, for the group assignment event that you mentioned, Rini, it's going to be similar. Just type the group assignment, and this is the event that you will need to create a notification on. And back to you for customer use case number 3.
Thank you. So I'm sharing my screen again, and I'm already on use case number 3. Again, another company that decided to move to the Grow plan as they only needed 2 branches for their portal. They are they're focused on AI skills training for university students, and they have another branch for their paid AI marketing academy. Now, this email was sent because they wanted to focus on the brands they created for the students, the university students. They partnered with multiple universities. So since these brands will host all these university students, they needed a way to be able to identify which university each learner belongs to, each of these students belongs to. So they basically asked if this is possible in TalentLMS, since they will be using only one branch for this purpose. And they also mentioned that they have only 2 admins. And that's because they wanted to highlight that they're looking for something efficiently and time saving, because they also need to share monthly training reports, progress reports, to each university program director. So they would appreciate any guidance to set this up in the most efficient way. So it looks like we need to automate as much as possible here without having access to automations, because as we said, they have moved into the Grow plan, and the Grow plan is not supporting automations. And also tagging users and ensuring the reports are sent out to the right people. So let's see how. So on this slide, we have gathered together some smart workflows that they don't require any automations, and they're available to the Grow plans, of course. So the first tip we shared with this customer is to create the custom user fields. The custom user fields are the additional fields that you can create on user profiles to store extra information about your users beyond the default profile details. You can create up to 100 custom user fields. And you can also combine different input methods. So what we suggested as a first step is to create those custom user fields with a drop-down method as the input method with a list of the universities. So for each student profile, they will need to select the university they belong to. And then since the custom user fields are also available, because apart from personalizing user profiles with role-specific data, they can also work as filters for reports or mass actions. So this is where you can combine the custom user fields with the custom reports. So what we suggested to the customer is to build the respective custom reports using those custom user fields as part of the rule set. So they will create a custom report for each different university. And of course, once they have the data they're looking for and the reports they're looking for, they could take advantage of the scheduling functionality. The scheduling functionality is available in all reports. It's the method where we generate and send reports to recipients on regular intervals without having to run them manually every time. And those recipients don't need to have any Talent LMS accounts. So they could simply schedule the respective reports with the associated program directors of each university. So this will definitely save time for the admins. Since they will not be involved anymore on sending this report. This whole process would be automated. And since our customer mentioned that they only have two admins in place to manage the whole platform, we also suggested another feature that is available in all plans, the default groups. And this is mostly for the new users, since more students will be joining this branch. With the default groups, you can automate course enrollments and streamline user management from the moment a learner joins. And each branch may have its own default group. So as an extra mile, we suggested to the customer to use a default group with these courses that all the students, regardless the university they belong to, should take since day one. And combining all these smart workflows, they are managing to save time from the admins, of course, since they won't be involved with those course assignments at all. And it's a long-term benefit because the training has been streamlined and the reports have been set up to be sent out automatically. So, Anastasia, for one last time, I'm going to pass the mic to you so you can demonstrate how we can create the custom user fields and how this could be used in the custom reports, and also save some minutes before we get into the Q&A, and so as the default groups in branches as well. So back the mic to you.
Thank you, Rini. Let me share once more my screen. All right. And okay, so let's start with the custom user fields, which we can create from account and settings and selecting the users option from here. If we scroll all the way down, this is where we're going to find the custom user fields section. And as you mentioned, Irini, we can create up to 100 custom user fields. So here you see the list of all the custom user fields created in our platform. So I have already created the university custom user field that our customer needs here. So let me just click edit to show you how you can create it. So first of all, you need to select the name that you would like to appear in the user profiles, and then the type. So this time we have selected the drop-down type, but you also have the option to create a custom user field with a text or a checkbox or a date, so that a calendar will pop up when you input the information. Now here we want the drop-down list, and here we want to add the universities. We have already added them just by typing and then hitting the enter button. You can add the universities. And now we need this custom user field to be visible on reports because we're going to use it in our custom reports. So this is the option that we have enabled. And of course, hit the save button. And now let me move to the reports and once again to the custom reports. This time we want to track the monthly training progress. So this is the report we have already created. Let me hit on the edit button to show you the rules that we have selected here. The type now is learning progress. So we are going to need also to select what courses we want to appear in the report. So this time I have let the system decide for the learning progress of the users, but I have added the rule for my users to have a specific value on a custom field. This is the rule that you need to select when you want to filter for a specific custom user field. So here I have selected the university custom field, and I wanted to first check the Stanford training progress. So that's the value I have selected from the drop-down list. And now the output. This is what I would like in the report to appear. So the different columns with the data I need for this report, and I would like to share with the university directors. Uh, if already some data will be by default added here, but if you, for example, don't need the time spent in the course, you can, of course, go on and delete it like this. Or if you want to add some extra information, like for example, if they have acquired the certificate, you can simply select it from the drop-down list and hit on the update button to run the report. So here we get the name of the users, the courses, when they were enrolled, the status, the university, the custom field, and the certificate if they have completed a course. This is where we could also download the certificate. Now, we need to send this report automated somehow to the university directors. So here we're going to find the schedule feature. And we want it to be a monthly training progress report. So let's select to send the report every month. You can also select the day that would you would like this report to be sent. So I'm going to put it like day 1 and click here to add the email addresses of the university directors. Now, you can add more than one email address. The university directors are going to be added in the email with the training progress report in BCC status, so they will not be able to view the other email addresses that have been added here. And of course, you don't need to worry if the university directors do not have access to your TalentLMS portal, because we can share with this feature, we can share a report with anybody that has a valid email address. So the scheduling of reports, we have done it. And now let's see how we can add a default group in our branches. Of course, we need first to have created our groups by adding it here. I have already created my skills training. You can see here the info and a quick description that will be available only to the admins. And I need to, of course, have added the training in the courses here for the skills training, and then go to the branches that I have created. Let me go to the California branch here, edit, and from the info tab, I need to find the default group option to assign the default group for these brands. So if I click save, all the new users that the admins are going to create in these brands will be automatically added to this default group and automatically be assigned to the training of this group. And I think it's time to start with the Q&A because we have a lot of questions, right?
Yes, so allow me to save you some time and take a breath. And I
Thank
will
you.
start with the Q&A. So let me share my screen. I'm already logged in as an admin in here. So I'm going to start with a question coming from an anonymous attendee, and they're asking, can custom user fields be configured per branch? For example, I don't need the department section for branch A, but I need it for branch B. Will that work? Yes, this is something that you can definitely create. If we go to account and settings and users and go all the way down to custom user fields, you see at the moment we have created our fields. You see this column that says selective availability. So if I click edit, for example, in this branch, but this also applies to custom user fields you create, we have this option selective availability in which you will add the branches that this custom user field should appear. So for the user profiles that you host in different branches, you can definitely create brand-specific custom user fields by specifying the branches that this custom user field should appear. I hope this helps. And then I'm going to cut a question coming from Michael. He has noticed the gamification. So he's wondering what are the gamification options for training courses. As we said at the beginning of our of our webinar, this is your chance to ask any question about Talent LMS. So, Michael, you asked, we will answer. So, if you go to account and settings and check the gamification, this is where you can see the gamification settings. You can use points that represent the different learning activities. So you can reward your users with points, which of course you can customize and turn off the ones that you don't want to work with. You can work with badges to highlight the different milestones your learners will reach. Again, turn off or turn on the badges you want to work with. And also from the badge set, you can customize the badges by selecting different collections or uploading and renaming your own badges. We also have the levels, which represent the different stages on the learner journey. Again, you decide how the users will level up by points, completed courses, or badges. And there's also the rewards here, which will be ideal if you are selling courses, because through the rewards, you can definitely offer discounts. Once the users reach the certain number of points or badges or levels you have defined in here. And of course, there's the leaderboard where the learners can check their achievements and who they compete with. And of course, you also have the option to reset the statistics if it's necessary. Now, from the learner's perspective, the gamification will be demonstrated here in this button. So if you click it, the learners can view like this their achievements and who they compete with. Now, this is a very brief overview of the gamification. What I'm going to do after I pass the mic to Anastasia to answer more questions is to add in the chat a link from our knowledge base where you can explore the gamification. And of course, if you have further questions, you can definitely send us an email to onboarding@talentlms.com. Anastasia, are you ready to jump into the questions?
Yes, I'm ready, Rini. So let me share my screen. Let me start with a question coming from an anonymous attendee. And our viewer asks, like, if there is a way for an administrator role to not receive user sign-up requests. Okay, so this is a little bit more complicated. So from the notifications and the default notification that you will find in your platform let me find it. So for the user, when users are created or when users sign up, sorry. So, well, the default notifications are for when users are created or self-register. This notification is set to be sent to the related user. Now, you must have created an extra notification, right? So when users self-register, the recipient to be the super admins of the portal. So if you don't want to receive, so if you selected this option, all the super admins of the portal are going to receive the notifications. So if you are a super admin, you will always get this notification. Now, if you would like the users to, the notifications to go to specific recipients only, so specific administrators, then select this option and type the email addresses that they need to be receiving this notification. I hope this helped. So second question would be if we can add manager names as custom user field. And this is a yes. From account and settings and the users option, we find the custom user fields here at the bottom, and we have already created this user field because it's a very useful one to create, right? So in our case, we have created the manager, the manager custom user field, and the type is text. So either the users or the administrators can type the name of the manager for these users, and then you can make it visible on reports and select and the users that you, the managers that you would like to maybe send a report about the progress of the users, or just sending them a message about their users. So once again, I hope this helped. And one question from Angelica. How can I change or delete a recipient for a scheduled report? Very good question. So when we schedule the reports, and let me just go to one of our custom reports and just run it. Okay. So when you select on the schedule report functionality, here you will also be able to see all schedule reports. Therefore, if you want to stop this report from running, you can just delete it from here. In this case, I'm not the creator of these reports. That's why I cannot edit them any further in order to be able to delete a specific recipient. But from the configuration here, you would be able to see the email addresses that you have added, and you can just delete also the recipient. Right? So hope this is helpful too. And Irini, do I have time for one more question?
Yes, you do, before I pick up mine.
Okay, so let me take the one from Nick. Talking about the grow plan and the automations that we said that the automations are not included in the grow plan, grow subscription plan. And if we can use the import functionality to manage reassignments on recurring trainings. Okay, so we're talking about recurring trainings, and we're talking about reassigning specific courses when the certificates no so reassigning the trainings to specific users again and again. We have another feature that might help you, not the import this time. It's easier, so we can use the certificate to reassign recurring trainings. What I'm talking about is just going to the course that will be a recurring course. And let me just use this one. And if you edit it, and from the course options, if you go to the completion tab this time, this is where you can assign a certificate to the course that will be awarded to the users on course completion. And the default option here is forever. However, you can change it and select a different period of time. So let's say that the training is an annual training. As soon as you select a different duration than forever, you also get an automation here to reassign the course to user. And you decide when you would like the progress of the user to be reset and reassigned. So on certificate expiration, 1 week or 30 days before the certificate expiration, to help your users always have a valid certificate about this course. Hope this helped, Nick. And Irini, back to you for the last questions.
Yes, so I will be sharing my screen one more time, and I'm going to start with a question coming from Jenna. How can I use the same setup and create a new branch efficiently? So one thing that I can suggest, since you want to use the same setup and create a new branch, because if you use the import functionality to create the branch this way, you will only need to add the branch name and the description. So for further setup, you will need to jumping into the branches and then, for example, click in this branch, go to info and set it up when it comes into branding and locale section and announcements and default setup. So a quick method for you to create the exact same branch, a replica out of it, and then just jump in and change just the name of the branch would be to clone this functionality that you will find here in the list of branches. So for example, we have the California branch in here. If I hover, we have the clone functionality, we click it, and what we basically create is a replica out of this branch. Everything out of this branch will be duplicated. So the branding, the setup, the courses, only the users will not be duplicated in this branch. And by duplicating, I'm not talking about having duplicate accounts or duplicate courses. The same courses will be shared within that duplicate branch as well. But definitely, this is a method that will save you time because you can create a branch, use it as a template, and then you clone it again and again. Now, I think we have enough time for this question because this is very interested. Jim is asking, are there any suggestions for auto-enrolling to those phases you demonstrated? That's an excellent question, Jim, because when we demonstrated that example, if I remember correctly, it was on use case number one with a cybersecurity company where Anastasia was creating the categories and the prerequisites. Anastasia mentioned that we will need to assign all the courses to the user so they will be able to follow this path. So in order to automate this a bit, what you can do is to organize these courses into a group. So what you can do is create a group. So let's click add group. You will give your group a name and a description. And there's also this option that says here group key. When you click this option, a key will be generated, which of course you can change by adding a key of your own. And when you save, so let's say, phase one course. I'm just going to save it like this. And when you save, then the system will allow you to add the courses that will be included in that phase. So all you have to do then is copy this group key and share it with your learners. And of course, the learners, so if I switch as a learner really quick, all they have to do is hover on their profile, click on my groups, join group and add that group key here, and automatically they will be enrolled to those courses. Now, how can we embed that somehow in the course catalog? Because if we have this use case where you have an open course catalog and you want the learners to auto enroll to all these courses at once, what you could possibly do is include that group key somehow in the categories. So if I go back to account and settings and go to categories, let's click editing this category randomly, maybe you could somehow enable this like this, have the group key and add a simple group key that it will be easier to type, continue. So you can embed somehow this group key in its category and maybe using the announcements as a method to guideline the users of how they should be utilizing this group key. I hope this helped. And I think that with that said, it's time to wrap up. Anastasia, what do you say?
Yes.
As we said, that's a wrap up. And thank you all for joining today. We do expect a lot of questions. So if you have more questions, please send them all to onboarding at talentlms.com. These two webinars are basically asked from a lot of customers. What could be possible best practices when somebody grows or somebody's needs change and they need to reshape? So we hope that both webinars were helpful. However, if you have more questions or if you want to elaborate on your use case, feel free to send us an email to onboarding at talentlms.com and we will get back to you. And of course, as we said, this webinar came from you guys, from all of you and your feedback. So if you have more ideas or if you want to share your feedback about this webinar, your thoughts, please do. The link is posted in the chat as we speak. It's a very short survey where you can participate. And of course, you can check all of our upcoming and past webinars through our webinar page at talentlms.com/webinars. And with that said, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Ioannis and Ben, for being in the background, answering all the questions. And thank you, Anastasia, for hosting this session with me.
Thank you so much, Irini, and of course to all our participants.
And until next time, happy training and enjoy the rest of your summer because we will be back on September.
Happy training.